Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Shifted. And in our last episode, we talked a lot about a universal year for 2026. Is it a 1? Is it a 10? What is the difference between the two? And we briefly talked about a personal year. And here today, I am talking to you more about what a personal year is in numerology and what it really means for you. What are some of the benefits that you can receive from a personal year so that you can decide if this is something that you want to learn more about? Maybe you want to see what your personal year is and what that means for you, and that can help you to decide if you want to start utilizing this inside of your business. Now, I am a bit biased here. I started using numerology inside of my business a couple of years ago. And it has made the biggest difference in regards to clarity, focus, direction, and sustainable momentum. And that's why I'm so excited to share it here with you today. So, last episode, we talked a lot about a universal year. Now, this is the collective energy that we are in, something that we feel and experience together as the human race. Your personal year, this is more of your individual year energy. So you can think of it as like the theme or the season of life that you're in. It's kind of like the chapter of a book, right? That lasts for 12-month cycle. Your personal year doesn't dictate or predict what is going to happen to you in that 12-month cycle, but it does describe the types of lessons and priorities and even growth that tends to be more efficient or more supportive for you during that particular 12-month cycle. And unlike a universal year that runs calendar to calendar, so January 1st through December 31st, your personal year actually runs from birthday to birthday. And therefore, your personal year calculation is based off of your birth month plus your birthday plus the current calendar year. Now, at the time of this recording, this is early January 2026. So if when you hear me say the current calendar year, if you haven't had your birthday when you are calculating your personal year, then you actually use the previous year. So, for example, my birthday is in September. So, my personal year runs September through September. Being it is January 2026, I haven't hit my personal year for 2026 until September. So, to determine what personal year I am in now, I would use September 1st, 2025. Now, the way that you calculate this is very, very important, and it is different than the way that you calculate a universal year. And I explain how to calculate your personal year in my 2026 Reset Workshop, which you can find on my YouTube channel, which is the Conscious Business Hub. So if you're curious to know what your personal year is and want the exact calculation, then I encourage you to go over to the YouTube channel and watch that 2026 reset. I'm going to put a link in the show notes so that you can easily find this workshop on YouTube. Now, the reason why you calculate it different from a universal year is because of mastered numbers. Usually, your personal year runs 1 through 9 in numerology, but with master numbers 11, 22, and 33, if you don't do the calculation correctly, then you could miss out on seeing if you were really in a master number personal year or not. So, again, go on over to the YouTube channel, the Conscious Business Hub, the 2026 reset, because I walk you through not only how to calculate your personal year, but also I give you exactly what each year looks like for you. So, lessons and opportunities for you in this particular year. Now, what really is this for besides just understanding that this is kind of like the season of life that you're in? But your personal year is basically like your decision making lens. It helps you to answer certain questions like, what am I meant to put my energy and focus in right now? What am I meant to build right now? What should be simplified or released? Is this really a year to push, or should I be preparing? What does it why is it that, what I've been working on that worked all the time suddenly isn't working or is starting to feel really heavy? This is literally a decision making lens, which is completely different from your authority in human design, which is how you best make decisions. So, by knowing your personal year, this helps you to filter through what decisions are going to be the most aligned for you. This is another reason why I love numerology, is because it works in conjunction with your human design in such a beautiful, magical way. Now, there's four benefits that I want to share with you for following your personal year. And here's where you get to decide if this is really something for you. So, first and foremost, it literally can reduce pressure. So, instead of trying to treat every single year like it's supposed to be this massive push, you're doing all of the things, you start to work more in a rhythm. And that's because each year represents something different. So, some years are for launching or visibility. Other years are for refining or building structure. You have other years that are literally for healing and introspection. And then you have other years that are for endings and completion. And this alone can remove a ton of self judgment. Another benefit is that it helps you to make better decisions because you now know what year or what season you are in. It helps you give a filter for the timing of the decisions that you're making. So if you are in a foundation year, like a year one, like right now we're in a universal year one. I also personally happen to be in a personal year one. So this is all about foundation, new beginnings, setting the tone, leadership, ambition. So for me, this year is not necessarily about visibility. So I'm not going to try to push or rush my visibility. Now, can I experience visibility as I am building in my new 1 year? Absolutely. But I'm not going to try to push or try to force my visibility because my focus is on creating the new beginnings. Or if you're in a 4 year, this is all about structure and foundations. Okay. If you're in a 9 year, which is all about endings, completion, release, the bigger picture, right? Then you literally start trying to revive what is clearly complete. 9 years are super important. We just came out of a universal 9 year. That's 2025. So we are now in a universal 1 year. And we can't make any real shifts or see any true momentum if we are carrying old energy from 2025 or the past 9 year cycle into this whole new 9 year cycle. So, by knowing that we were in a universal 9 year, it was a lot easier to view life through the lens of what is no longer serving me? What can I release and let go? What is no longer going to help me grow and evolve in this new 9 year cycle? What needs to be completed? So, this is literally a filter for the timing of what it is that you are doing right now. It literally becomes easier to know what is a yes, what is a not right now, and what is a no. It can also help you to work more sustainably because when we follow our person in year, this literally can help to prevent burnout because we stop trying to live literally in one mode all of the time and we start to get into more of an actual rhythm. And when we working in a rhythm, we can plan in a way that's truly aligned with our energy capacity, our focus, our true priorities, even our emotional bandwidth. This is a beautiful way to create more sustainability by acting through a rhythm and a season of life. You hear this talk all the time about, oh, I'm in this season of life right now. Life ebbs and flows. It's not linear. We have ups, we have downs. We can experience this literally from moment to moment during the day. So you spread that out over a year or even a 9-year cycle, it's not consistent all the way through. And by understanding your personal year, you are no longer fighting against the ebb and flow of life in which you are in. This helps you to feel more supported. And this is the fourth benefit, that literally allows your personal year to become a stabilizing anchor. So when opportunities and challenges or even pivots show up, you can literally ask yourself, does this match the current season or chapter that I'm in? Or am I trying to skip ahead? Or am I trying to work backwards by following something that used to work for me but no longer is? Okay. This question alone can literally save you months of spinning. It can save you time. It can save you energy. It can even save you money. Okay. So there are multiple benefits of, tapping into your personal year. And here's the best thing about numerology is that it doesn't have to be spiritual. Yes, there is an underlying spiritual energy and frequency to numerology when you think about angel numbers and you hear about, oh, I see 1111 on the clock, or 111 shows up for me, or 888, or even 777. And it has all of this really mystical and spiritual woo-woo message behind it. But you don't have to use it that way. At the end of the day, numerology is extremely practical, because it literally gives you a name of what you are moving through, which helps you to lead yourself with so much more grace and strategy. As I mentioned before at the beginning of this episode, numerology has created clarity, focus, direction, and sustainable momentum for me. It has literally grounded me inside of my business. It has taken me from feeling scattered and overwhelmed and in the pressure of having to do all of the things all of the time. And it's completely removed all of that. Now, it didn't happen overnight. Most things don't happen overnight. It's a whole new way of living. It is literally a lifestyle to take on. And I'm here to support you through that. That's what this podcast is for. And that's literally why I created my membership called the Rising Entrepreneur Membership. This is literally numerology based. That is the foundation of this entire membership. And inside the membership, we literally work with the universal month that we're in. So yeah, you have your universal years, you have your personal years, you have the universal month, you even have universal days. And I'm just now starting to play with the actual universal day. So I'll keep you posted on how that goes for me. But over the past 2 years of leaning into the actual season that I am in combination with the universal month theme that we are in, has allowed me to have more clarity and focus in my day-to-day business. It takes away the busy work. It takes away the pressure of having to do all of the things all of the time. You're literally going to hear me say this over and over and over again. Try this and see what shifts for you. Hi, I'm Kimberly Romano, Indian wedding photographer turned brand photographer and human design reader. Thank you for tuning into Shifted, the podcast that is here to spark a shift in you that creates big change in your energy, perspective, and direction. And if this episode sparked a shift in you, then subscribe and leave a review sharing what your shift was. Not only will this help others discover this podcast, but your shift can inspire them to have a shift of their own. Please remember, the content you hear in this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and should not be taken as legal, health, or financial advice. For professional guidance, I encourage you to seek out a trusted expert near you. Thank you again for tuning into Shifted. Until next time, keep leaning into the shift.